from the not from the source side. The source problem is the problem of the sectors. Now this is quick resolution of disputes, that's all. Okay, this guy cannot pay, take it to the resolvency board, resolve it within 180 days and sell the assets and pay it. That means haircut. So as I told you, it is expected 40 to 50% of the NPS only will be coming back. That means a higher provisioning for the banks has to be done, right? That means they have to show higher losses and lower CRAR. That's why already I told you that that problem is waiting to happen. So government has taken some measures, no doubt, but they are again too little too late. They are not addressing the root cause of the problem. The cause of the problem is balance sheet problem of the corporates, particular few sectors. And as I told you, another problem is waiting to come up is MSME sector. MSME sector also defaults will start, right? Because of the demonetization and GST, many of them are also stressed now. So so there are different solutions now being thought of, now being floated in the economic survey, and both of them are not going to resolve it, unfortunately. PARA, one is PARA, bad banks, bad bank, being told by Arvind Subramaniam in the economic survey. PARA stands for P for Public Asset Reconstruction Authority. Rehabilitation Agency, okay, whatever it is. PARA is nothing but new name for the present ARCs, Asset Reconstruction Companies. It's nothing new. As the present asset reconstruction companies hold assets only 4,000 crores, whereas stressed assets are 9.5 lakh crore. Simple reason is they are run by banks themselves, cross subsidized, cross ownership of banks. So when banks themselves are facing a problem, how can they give capital to ARCs to buy the stressed assets? Is not unviable. Now the PARA concept is not clear whether it will involve private sector, right? So where is the money for PARA? So you have to buy lakhs of crores of assets. The idea is, okay, it is a specialized agency, so it will liquidate it faster. So this thing, but banks have to take a haircut when they sell the asset. Okay, 100 rupees ka hai, nahi aayega, so I will sell it at 50 rupees. Let that guy do something and get 60 rupees. He will make also 10 rupees profit. But banks have to, in the initially itself, have to take a haircut by selling the assets. They don't have to go to the board for liquidating. Even before that, they are selling it. That's fine. But who is ready to buy? Where is the money? Right? Government cannot put the money because government is facing huge problem of fiscal problems. So lakhs of crores is not going to be put up by the government to set up one PARA or whatever name you call it, bad bank. You may have special people, but first thing, it doesn't, the quality of people, paisa chahiye to buy the bad asset. So that is not there. Second is, okay, they can issue bonds, get money from the market, or private investments can come there. But everybody know a huge haircut is needed and economy is going through a bad phase. So nobody is sure how much of money they can recover. I buy it at 100 rupees, wala asset go 50 rupees. Bank goes away. Banks take the haircut 50 rupees and go away. But if I am able to take 40 rupees, I am facing a loss. If I take 60 rupees, I am a profit. I will be happily ready to do that. But if I am taking 40, what will we do? An economy growing down in every quarter, how will the private sector will come and invest there when they don't know how much returns they will get by investing in? And we are talking about investment of lakhs of crores which nobody in India has got. And who is going to lend to them? Which if you issue IPOs, etc., who is going to subscribe to them? Knowing well that it will be all money will be wasted. So it's very difficult to do that. That is why Finance Ministry has rejected this proposal. It is not viable at all. PARA is not viable, it's not going to happen. It is just a different name for the existing project called ARC. There's no need to change any of the stuff. The other solution which is being thought about is merging of banks, right? Now we are expecting that some of the banks may even go under because of the problems of bankruptcy. So some of the banks, their NPAs are now close to 15%. Their CRAR is below 9%. So there are big problems for few public sector banks. And we say that the public sector banks compete with each other, correct? So same street there will be 6 public sector banks, they are competing. So by merging, we can reduce the operational costs. All that 6 can be made into 2 banks through branches only. So we can have lesser number of branches and we can economize on the resources, human resources. We can lay off, but that will lead to unemployment problem. That is a different issue there. But the banks can reduce their costs, therefore make them more profitable and manage the present NBA problem. That is one factor is there. And the other basic reason is the strong bank should protect the weak bank. SBI. Huh? So the strong bank has to pull the weak bank. So the bank like SBI has to mentor the smaller bank. 3-4 banks will be merged with this, and that should be able to take care of the smaller banks. But the critics say that it is very fraught with danger. So there are reports, international reports, Merrill Lynch and all are also there. The strong bank may become weak. So it is about one person is sinking in he cannot swim in the flood or in the river and you jump to save, and you may die also, because that's what many times it occurs when college tour, when friends sink, people jump also, they also die. So they give the example of Air India, Indian Airlines merger. Indian Airlines was hugely loss making, Air India was profit making. After the merger, both of them are loss making, now they want to privatize. See that what has happened there. The basic problem in the public sector bank is not the smallness or bigness of the banks. And now when banks are merged, that will lead to lesser financial inclusion. Many banks in the rural areas may be closed, may be merged. So that goes against the principle of financial inclusion. Now itself banks are not there in the rural areas, we will start doing that also. That happened in many places in the previous mergers. So that may also is not very positive. So the basic problem is too much of government control, politicization, right? Interference in the banking sector by the finance ministry or PMO. So political interferences. Based on that only, previously also without due diligence, loans were given to corporates. And corporates are getting loans from different sector. 9 banks se loan liya hai Vijay Mallya. How it was possible? Many corporates nowadays, what they do it is, when one loan is about to mature and they don't have the money, they start a new project, get a loan from another bank and take that and give it to this bank. So this is how they being. Actual NPAs are much higher. They are playing around with this. Banks also know it. They don't want. They were just, that's why Arundhati said as a public bank, she has to be very tactful. There are a lot of meanings behind that. Everybody knows this is happening. Because nobody is ready to pay. That's the status of the economy right now. If you allow that, NPAs will shoot up like anything. So just announce one project, give a project report, they will approve it. Okay, take another loan. I have to pay 5,000 crores tomorrow to SBI. I don't have money, no cash flow. So I will announce new project, get the loan from Punjab and Singh Bank, 5,000 crores and give it. वो तो देख लेंगे, वो तो 2-3 साल के बाद देख लेंगे, दूसरा प्रोजेक्ट और उसको करना पड़ेगा. This is how it is happening. Restructuring is happening. The real status of the economy is much worse than what being shown to us by a lot of fudging of data and playing around with this, etc. So that merger of banks is again another. There are big problems. In the other problems in the merger of the bank is the culture, work culture of the banks are different, very different. How to merge it? It is being opposed by the unions, banking union, because they fear job loss. And even middle level managers, career progression will not be there, right? There will be very less number of posts also there. Job loss, promotion opportunities will be curtailed. Financial institution ka problem hai. There is no guarantee that this will be successful based on past experiences, problems in the different work culture of different banks. And another thing is, whom will we merge? That issue has to be not decided at all. Because in India, when nationalization occurred, because there were private banks were there. फिर उसको मत दो, सिर्फ ये दे दो, उसको मत दो. Then because many banks are regional based, most of the banks are regional based except for SBI, which has all India presence. Other banks are region based, right? Whether you will merge all the region based banking into one, or you will create an all India entity by merging one bank from one region. Got it? Where their headquarters is, they are focusing upon that area. Because previously the private bank was focusing upon that region. Right? Canara Bank, Mangalore headquarters, focusing upon Karnataka, particularly coastal Karnataka. Syndicate Bank, same Bangalore based. Indian Overseas Bank, Madras based. Indian Bank, Madras based. CB, what is that? Kolkata based. Union Bank based. Punjab and Sindh Bank, Bank of Maharashtra. All region based banks are. So how do you, which bank will select it to merge it? That's again a big issue. So far we are not decided. Just an idea only which has come. But again we need maybe an expert committee and all to do that. So whether this will be successful or not, and if it is successful, how we have to do it. And how many banks? The government now says this affects India's banking size is smaller, size of the bank. To compete internationally, so we need to have bigger sized banks. So India requires 4 to 5 large banks and few region based banks and few niche banks like payment banks, small banks, etc. So this is what the present structure being favored. As an idea it is good, but whether it be successful at the present troubled times, all these new ideas should be checked out only when economy is doing well and the banking sector is doing well. Then you can play around. If something bad happens also, you can recover. But when already aap kamzor ho gaye hain, and when you are trying to do some reforms, if something goes wrong, then the financial sector will collapse. The financial sector will take away like US ka sector se bahut zyada hoga. And government also, there the US government intervened in the financial sector to prevent the meltdown of famous companies like Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, etc. Here probably our government will not be able to do that also there. So really problem is banking sector is a major problem affecting the recovery. Right. So right. Then we have the agricultural sector, quickly into the infrastructure specific sectors. So there have been a lot of farmers protests going on different parts of India, social unrest. So one of the reasons have been the percentage of investments in agriculture farming sector has been steadily declining after 91, right? So that is why agriculture is not able to fulfill its potential, right? So we are happy with 4% growth rate. That is success. When service sector grows at 10-11%, why can't agriculture grow? And this is a sector which employs the maximum number of people. So because the investments have come down as a percentage of GDP, steadily coming down also. And that is a structural problem that is already there. There's the same thing for health, education, same problem exists there. But that is not the only criteria. There are other factors are also at play. The other factors at play are immediate causes, we can say that. Of course, there are medium term causes are also there. Medium term causes are input costs have gone up for the farmer. As I told you, now there is no subsidy except for urea, and that also they have reduced it. All other subsidies have been removed for P and K fertilizers. So farmers are responded in relying over reliance on urea. Right, that is also not good. As I told you, NREGA wages have increased. Now everybody is buying hybrid variety of seeds and or GM seeds. So all input costs have gone up. But there is not a corresponding increase in MSP. MSP is there again for very few crops, and it's implemented only for rice and wheat. Other crops they don't procure also, even though MSP is announced. Right. The latest problem is last year bumper crop. This is very paradoxical. We can understand farmers' protest during drought time. But these protests have come in a bumper crop time. Last year was a good monsoon, and the output was also bumper, highest ever. Right? But then why the farmers are protesting? That is the other thing is. Prices have gone down like anything, particularly on pulses. Farmers, in response to Prime Minister's call that we should grow more pulses, and pulses are mostly grown in rain-fed areas. Last year monsoon was also good. A huge increase in the area for pulses happened. Believing that, government is also vastly increasing the MSP of pulses. MSP alag hai, procurement alag hai. Farmers believed that government will procure, but no procurement has taken place. So they have to still sell it at the market to the local moneylender, who doubles up also as a buyer of the grosses. And that guy is not buying because there is a glut in the market. So the prices have depressed. Farmers expected that the price will go up based on MSP, but the prices have actually gone down compared to last year. So therefore the farmers could not even get the amount of money they spent. So they are throwing all that vegetables, milk, everything on the road, and they blockade Maharashtra. They blockaded all the things going to Bombay. Led to shootings and all those things in Madhya Pradesh, firing. And in every state now the farmer want loan waivers. Right. Once that has been started in one state, because now media is there, everybody knows. If UP can give, why not you cannot give? UP also cannot give. UP gives 1 paisa, 2 paisa, 1 rupee, 2 rupee check dete hain. So they see that bureaucracy. यार check देने के पहले सोचना है ना, 1 पैसे का check देंगे. What is that officer क्या कर रहा है काम? और government भी क्या कर रहा है? They are taking people for a ride. Now in the media connected world, everything will come and you will be made into a laughing stock. Basically that. So you lose the trust of the people. Not only on the party which has promised it, the overall governance structures will be made to question there. Is it really there? Right. We are not addressing the root cause of the problem. That is real investment in agricultural sector. That only can solve the problem. These are all short-term fixes there. Loan waivers, etc., which affect only the state finances and not benefit to anybody. In fact, the loan waivers could be having a negative impact, because then people will think, अरे यार, anyway they will announce it after 3-4 years. Now मेरा अच्छा पैसा भी मिला है, फिर भी मैं नहीं पे करूँगा, क्योंकि सम टाइम लेटर इलेक्शन आने वाला है 2 साल में, 1 साल के इलेक्शन के 6 महीने पहले अनाउंस करेंगे. Why should I pay now? Am I a fool? Because people who have paid, they are not going to return it. So why should I pay? I will rather wait when the loan waiver comes there. So that is a very negative thing. That will also increase the NPAs of the banks. Government will pay them, bank, but this is not a fiscal prudence, basically the way we do it also. So of course the another reason is now is social media. You know, everybody uses social media. So come idhar aa jao, this time meeting hai, etc. The news spread very fast because of all these social media sites. Demonetization dried them, big problem for the farmers. Like as I told you, all unorganized sector was badly hit by demon. Farmers are very, very badly hit by demon, because that is the time they have to sell their kharif crop. No cash, so they have to sell it at distress sales to the local money lender. Cash is very important. No? Cash is a king in rural economy. So demon time came but just after the kharif harvests. Farmers do not have storage space, either in the field or in the house, to store it. They have to sell it as quick as possible, otherwise rain aaya jayega, pura damage ho jayega. So they sell it at distress sales. And that is the time for rabi crop ka sowing and inputs. Again, nobody has the money. So they took loans at exorbitant rates to borrow seeds, fertilizers. Both of them are important for them. So they took it. So it's a big hit on them. All these are coming back now and cutting off. Right. So another problem is in Maharashtra specifically, cooperative banks are there, very popular also. Demon people deposited money in the cooperative banks. Then late RBI said, we won't allow cooperative banks to exchange. RBI has refused to take that money from cooperative banks. Thousands of crores of money is stuck up in the cooperative banks, which could not also give loans to the farmers subsequently, because their money is locked. Now belatedly RBI has said that we will take that money, but they should have announced it. One season was completely affected because of RBI's reluctance, because they say some money laundering has occurred. That might be true, but it has already happened. You can't do that. So ex post facto, IT department has to find and take action, but it has hit the farmers badly. Right, because they depend upon cooperative banks in the rural areas, which are having this money only. They don't have any other money. RBI is not taking back and giving them new notes. So that also one specific factor related to Maharashtra. Right. So all these factors have contributed to the recent this thing. So of course external factors are also there, but not that much. Both internal and external factors are also there. So external factor is the global food prices are low. This is the food prices which pulled inflation during UPA time. Fuel was $115 per barrel. Modi ji ka advantage was $45 per barrel. That is was $115 per barrel. Second one was very high food inflation globally. Now pulses and oil prices globally are also very less. Rice and wheat are also less. India exports rice and wheat and imports pulses and oil seeds. So since the gold prices are depressed, domestic prices have also come down in the open market. So therefore, government has to strictly implement the procurement. So we have to give enormous amount of money to NAFED. We have to implement the Shantakumar committee report. Last year, couple of years back, Shantakumar committee report on reforms in FCI ka import. It very specifically says, give power